How goes it, everybody? I am the world famous Fat Kid, and today, week 4 picks for the 2024-25 NFL season. And yeah, we got some interesting picks to say the least. So, after going 7-9, I need to get back into the winning side of things. No more losing. Please. So, we're going to start with Thursday Night Football. Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. Dallas coming off of 2 straight losses at home. Good thing they're going to be on the road. Going up against a Giants team who got their first win of the year. Dallas is bad, but the Giants are worse. I'm taking the Cowboys. It's a no-brainer. Watch, I'm going to get it wrong, and then everybody can point and laugh at me. Next, the New Orleans Saints taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Both coming off of really close, heartbreaking losses. You know, the Falcons are better than I thought they would be. Hell, the Saints are better than I thought they would be. But for this one, I'm going with Atlanta. They showed a little more. They seem to be a little bit farther ahead than the Saints right now. If I get it wrong, I get it wrong, but Falcons. Next, Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Carolina Panthers, and I'm going to throw a curveball here. Andy Dalton playing against a former team. Granted, he's had a few former teams at this point, but the one he spent the most time with. Bengals are struggling hard. Panthers are feeling it after getting their first win of the year against the Raiders. I think the Bengals' struggles continue, and I'm going to pick the Panthers. You're welcome, Bengals fans, because I'm pretty sure they're going to win now. Next, we're going to move on to the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Chicago Bears, and the Rams are depleted. They have so many injuries. I think they have their entire starting offensive line out. But the Bears have Caleb Williams. So I'm taking the Rams. Yes, that was a shot at the rookie who has looked terrible in the first 3 weeks. Maybe he turns it around. I doubt it. Next, we're going to go with the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. Vikings have looked dominant in their 3 games. Packers, they're 2-0 without Jordan Love. Not saying that, it's Jordan Love's the problem, but they had a close game in Brazil, and then Malik Willis has stepped in. They leaned heavily on the run game, and then Malik Willis was a little more comfortable, and he did a lot more in the game against, face it, a very bad Tennessee team. This one could be good, but I feel Minnesota's going to be able to disrupt Malik Willis. Josh Jacobs is going to get probably 80-some yards and probably a touchdown. They're not going to be able to contain him completely, but it's looking like I'm picking Minnesota. There we go. It should be a good game, though. Next, Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. Both teams coming off of a loss. Both, in my opinion, blowouts. One worse than the other. I don't see Houston struggling 2 weeks in a row, especially against Jacksonville, who has no idea what they're doing, really. I mean, they're lost. and that's why they will lose this game. Houston for the win. Then we go on to the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Pittsburgh, I believe, 3-0. And Indianapolis 1-2. No. Yes, 1-2 because they beat Chicago. Anthony Richardson hasn't really been that great. Jonathan Taylor kind of shows up occasionally. No need to beat around the bush. I'm taking the Steelers. Better defense. Okay offense. Steelers. Next, the Denver Broncos taking on the New York Jets. And I know the Broncos are coming off of their win. Bo Nix didn't look terrible to my knowledge. I really didn't follow that much of the game. I'm not picking against the Jets. Jets are going to win. Aaron Rodgers is looking better. Granted, he's not back to like MVP form or anything, but it'll take a little bit of time. He hasn't played in over a year. I mean, yes, I know, 3 weeks, whatever. You know what I mean? It takes a little bit to knock off the rust and get back into game form. Okay? Jets win. Then we go to the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, rematch of the divisional round last year? God, my brain sucks. Anyway, they played each other in the playoffs. Philly came out on top. Tampa Bay played them really, really tough. And the Tampa Bay Bucs are looking to get that bad taste out of their mouth after losing to Denver. But Philly is a better team. Saquon has looked just chef's kiss. He's looked great in that Kelly green and black. I don't know if that's actually the colors of the Eagles. I know they have a Kelly green jersey, but whatever. He's looked really good in an Eagles jersey. He's played phenomenal. I got to go with the Eagles. Then we move on to the Washington Commanders and the Arizona Cardinals. Jayden Daniels looking pretty good. They've won 2 in a row. Arizona just lost a relatively close game to Detroit. They've been competitive. I mean, they beat the Rams. But then they were competitive against Buffalo. I think Washington wins. If they can even bottle half of the magic that they had against the Bengals, no punts, no turnovers, like first time since 19 hullabaloo or whatever. It's been a long time since a game like that has happened, and it was with Washington. If they can even bottle half of that, they're going to beat Arizona. Even though Marvin Harrison Jr.'s coming along and he's actually making an impact in games, this is one that I'm interested in seeing. I'm not very confident in, but I'd like to see Washington win. Next, New England Patriots and the San Francisco 49ers. It's hard to pick against the 49ers, especially against New England, who decent defense, but still waiting for that spark on offense. So I'm not going to pick against them. I'm going to take the 49ers. Then we go Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, and Chargers lost Derwin James due to suspension for repeated player safety violations against, I don't know who he was messing with, but whatever. He upset somebody, or maybe the league is stepping in to take away one of the better defenders for the Chargers, but that's just the theory. We're not going there. I I can't go against the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs. I wish they would fall into a well, but Justin Herbert's hurt. They're not going to have Derwin James. The Chargers just got beat by the Steelers, who inferior offensively compared to the Chiefs. Fairly close defensively. It's the Chiefs win. Then we move on to the Cleveland Browns and the Las Vegas Raiders. Now this one, I don't know. I took a few minutes. I thought about it. The Raiders are better than the Giants. Giants just beat Cleveland. I also thought they were better than Carolina, but the Raiders lost to Carolina. Cleveland, better than Carolina, better than the Giants, but they lost to the Giants. Let's see. Cleveland lost to Dallas, beat Jacksonville, who just mightily struggling, and lost to the Giants. Raiders have lost to the Chargers, beat the Ravens, lost to the Panthers. I told myself I wasn't going to pick the Raiders again, but I'm picking the Raiders. I hope it isn't one of those every time I pick them they lose, every time I don't pick them they win. But so far through the first 3 weeks, that's how it's been. It's not going to be a pretty game. I'm going to be upset at some point. Next, we move on to Sunday Night Football. Buffalo Bills taking on the Baltimore Ravens, both coming off of big wins, both coming off of strong outings, strong showings, however you want to put it. But Buffalo looked better. Granted, Baltimore played a better quality team in the Cowboys compared to the Jaguars, but Buffalo's on a roll, and they're doing it with really no big name receiver and James Cook running the ball, also catching some passes, and just the will of Josh Allen. I'm taking the Bills. Shocker. Next, another Monday Night Football doubleheader. We got the Tennessee Titans going up against the Miami Dolphins, and I thought about, this is tough. This is tough because Tennessee's got a decent defense, but they have Will Levis as quarterback, right? Miami, Skylar Thompson, and their defense is meh at best. The initial idea was Miami, but I'm gonna change it. Real life, live action, changing my mind, changing my decision. I'm going Titans. This is one of their 2 wins of the year. Let me put that pen back. Ugh, I don't know. I don't like it, but just like I don't like picking Carolina against Cincinnati, but, it is what it is. Next, we're moving on to Seattle Seahawks taking on the Detroit Lions. And I would have loved to have seen this, both teams, 100%. But Detroit just got ravaged with injuries. And Seattle feeling pretty good after beating up Miami, I would have to assume. I'm taking Seattle, which I would have taken Detroit, but with everything that happened, yeah, I got to go with Seattle. So those are my picks for week 4. Let me know what you think. Tell me who you got. Tell me what game you want to watch, what game you think is going to be the most interesting. And, hopefully we get the winning record this week. But until the next video, I hope you have a great day, and I hope you check out the next one. Until then, have a good one. Later.